beatboxing.
Dabble. Dabble. Live.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt Mosveen, and you are on air with Radio Chatter. Joining us on the flight deck today, we've got Noble Sun.
That's cool how you did that. I like that.
How you like the view?
I like that opener. It is gorgeous, man. It's beautiful up here. I'm only slightly terrified. I'm only a little bit scared of heights, but I'm facing it today. It's part of the process of this whole thing. It's lovely.
Adam Kirshner is Noble Sun, a multi-talented artist who's best known for his guitar work as a singer-songwriter, or perhaps his energetic acting and voiceover talent, which has amassed 2 million followers on TikTok.
Have you ever been in a small plane before?
I've only been in a float plane, which
Harbor Air.
Yeah, which was smaller and bigger. A little bit bigger. This feels very much like the equivalent of like riding a motorbike versus having a car or something. I feel much more naked. But I'm glad to be naked with you, Matt. If I was naked with anybody, it's Matt and Cade I want to be naked with at 10,000 feet. So
7,500 feet. We are over Pukulkul Lake. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't actually know if I am.
Yeah.
But you just read a map, you see a name, you try to do your best.
Pukulkul, yeah.
Puck. Word on the street is you sleep with your mouth taped shut with the palms of your hands facing the ceiling.
Yeah.
Why are people saying this? We are on the edge of our seats. Can you tell us a little bit more?
There's a few reasons for this, Matt. There's a few reasons. They're all just like generally health-based. I read a book called Breathe, and I wish I could remember the author's name off the top of my head. I don't. But in that book, it's generally talking about how since we in North America, I guess, in Western culture, since we started eating softer foods, our jaws have been shrinking, which is why so many people have sleep apnea and snore and have all these issues. I grind my teeth at night, had an issue with that. And the breathing through our mouths is fucking us all up. Am I allowed to swear?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's fucking us all up. And yeah, I noticed with myself, I was just breathing through my mouth a lot, and I noticed that one of my nostrils, my left nostril, I can't breathe as easy through it. And I was going like, okay, shit, like we spend, if we're sleeping well, a third of our life asleep. And during that time, it's easier during that time for me to have my mouth shut, because my job and most of the things I do require me to have my mouth fucking open the whole time.
Yeah.
And it is easier to mouth breathe while I'm doing voiceover and while I'm doing my job.
Right.
And when I'm singing and performing, it's mouth breathing. So all of those things, I'm like, man, these are a lot of bad habits. Leads to like breathing through your mouth leads to like more anxiety and stuff like that, because you're getting like more oxygen faster, which is like if you're hyperventilating, it's always through your mouth, right? And then you can try to.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, also, so fucking read this yourself, because this is probably quoting
not
a lot of this
FDA approved.
But yeah, exactly. I had there was a girl I was seeing for a short time, and she was a cardiologist assistant, and the first time she ever stayed over at my house, before we went to bed, she was like, I have to tell you something. And I was like, okay, like expecting, I don't know what I was expecting. And she was like,
that's usually not a good thing.
It can be foreboding for sure. And we were just getting ready for bed, and she said, I tape my mouth shut when I sleep. And I just laughed. Because I was just like, I don't know what I was expecting, but like, and as she like prepared it, she put it on and everything like that, I thought it was super weird and very odd. I've never seen anything like it. And yeah, so then I ended up coming full circle. I taped up that night too, because I'm down to try everything. Like I'll try most things one time just to see what the deal is. So yeah, I tried it, and I had some of started having the best sleeps of my life. I'm generally a really light sleeper. I started sleeping way heavier, and when I do the nose breathing, I feel way better. It's also, I just know it's good for your heart. The girl that I was seeing, she informed me about
confirmed this.
It's confirmed, scientifically confirmed. Yeah, so
that's not our opinion. We're just restating somebody else. So you can't listen to that one.
No, yeah, exactly. That's like
that one's legit.
She has authority. But yeah, mouth taping. Everybody should try it. Try mouth taping. You buy 3M tape medical tape. It's not like duct tape. You don't want to duct tape your mouth shut or anything like that. And I've turned on, I'm pretty sure 5 or 6 of my friends do it now as well. So it's a thing. It's a real thing.
So it sounds like you're a bit of an aficionado when it comes to noodles. And
Noodles.
so
Okay. Yeah.
I've brought a few different varieties of noodles here.
Okay.
And I was hoping you could rate these different things.
Shit.
Don't even look at the bag. Just
Okay.
grab one.
Okay.
And then maybe tell us about if you've tried it. If you
Sure.
haven't tried it, what your thoughts are on it.
Sure. Okay. Well, right away we've grabbed out one of the top contenders. Period. This is the Indomie. This is the barbecue chicken flavor. So now what I'll say about the barbecue chicken flavor, it's very good if you want to mix it up, but the original Indomie flavor is probably still the best, especially if you throw a little egg on there. The tough thing for me, the calorie count on this baby, 400 per pack. 400 per pack. I have a tough time not having 2. You throw a couple eggs on there, you're getting up close to 1,000 calories. So much sodium. But this right here is the perfect trifecta of the sweet, the salty, the umami. This thing is a delight. It's a treat. 3 a.m., 3 p.m., whenever. This is a top rank noodle, but a 4.5 out of 5 for sure. Let's grab another one here. Okay, Sapporo Ichiban. A lot of people like these noodles. I don't like these noodles. I mean, if I had to go to, they're too thin. You can even see on here a little bit. Like, that's a thin noodle. I feel like, I don't know, like they never cook as well. The seasoning, the flavors for me are not there. I don't know. What is this? This is just the classic. I know that this is maybe more authentic. I know a lot of people say these are more authentic than a lot of other flavors. I'm not eating it unless I absolutely have to. This is like a 2 out of 5. It's just not going to happen for me. I caught a sneak peek of one of them here. Let's see what we got here. Okay. I don't know about this, but this one's got the chicken skin on the outside, definitely turning me off. Chicken skin looks a lot like a
Product
testicle.
photography in food is notoriously bad. I don't know if that's a real chicken. That's probably not.
Yeah, it looks like a testicle. It's not. It's like it looks like a burnt testicle, and I just don't. Yeah, so I'm not into that. I mean, like this is what they're showing me. So this is what's in the product, mind you.
Right.
None of this is in the product. Why are they showing us this hidden behind this little man with a red nose?
It speaks to the confidence
I mean,
level.
where's the confidence at? Nissan Foods. This is getting a 2 out of 5 just for the packaging. I'm open to it hopping up with the flavor, but yeah, 2 out of 5.
That's a toss.
2 out of
That's
5.
a tosser.
Get that out of my face. Okay. See, if you want to make a food look good, first of all, show it prepared well. That egg, delicious. These goods, delicious. Look at those noodles. So the thing is with these ones, they're sauced so well. The sauce dispersion on the noodles is really top notch. This is the GOAT. This is a 5 out of 5. This is a perfect product. Dead cheap. Always have 6 of these around. If you need just a few calories, great for pre-workout, great for post-workout. I'm gonna keep this one up front. And lastly, okay, we got the childhood goat here. So, the childhood goat. This is the childhood goat, and I mean, this is going to get the honorable mention as like definitely a strong. This was the goat until I found Indomie. Mr. Noodles fed my childhood. I would consider them my ex now, but we had a lot of good times together. I'm going to give this a solid 4 out of 5. I still always keep a flat of these at the house in case I run out of Indomie.
So we're going to keep this in front, or we're going to throw it in the back?
It stays up front.
It stays up front.
It stays up front.
You grew up in Fort St. John.
Fort St. John.
As a teenager, when people would ask you, what do you want to be in when you grow up, what did you tell them?
When I was a teenager?
Yeah.
Oh, what did I want to be?
Maybe as a kid it was different. I mean,
yeah.
you
So
can
I mean,
answer that too,
the evolution was probably like when I was young, I wanted to be a hockey player.
Wow.
I wanted to be in the NHL. I played rep hockey as a goalie for years. Traveled around and did that. And then around 11 or 12, the idea of 6 a.m. Practices and being out of town every weekend and having my friends go to all the parties with the cute girls and not me became intolerable. And so I essentially was like, I'm done with hockey. At that same time, I found skateboarding. And so then, yeah, it kind of became like skateboarding became the thing, and that became my goal. I never really thought I would go pro or anything. I don't know that I really had goals besides just being really, I just wanted to be really good at whatever I was doing. I just wanted to be, like, I would just get obsessed with things. I think in my later teens, like 17, 18, 19, I like thought I would be a graphic designer. That's like the lamest moment in my life, and that was when I was the most committed to a girl. So I think I was just like kind of more in like a settle down kind of mentality.
Yeah, playing defense.
Yeah, I was like, okay, what's like and so then, you know, that was the first time I moved to Vancouver, was like in my late teens, and was going to go to art school, and I'd already been doing graphic design for a couple of years, and and then it just kind of became like, oh, I want to play music, and I kind of started writing. I sucked. I could barely play guitar. I was in a band, like rapping in a band, because I started writing hip hop when I was like 12. Through all my 20s, I think I was just kind of generally floating, trying to maintain any level of mental health, equanimity, and struggling with that. So it was like, I'll just play music and smoke as much weed as I can to try and not completely lose my fucking mind, which in retrospect may have been, you know, exacerbating the losing of the mind. But I don't think I didn't have like that strong, I know for sure I want to do this thing. Music's always been there, but it's always kind of been a bit more therapeutic than like a goal. It was like more of a kind of a necessity. I know a lot of artists say that and it sounds super trite, but like, yeah, it was more like I'm on the verge of a panic attack. If I play guitar, it kind of like lulls me. If there's something about like this activity and singing that like crossed the right wires in my brain where like it would calm me down. Yeah.
It's time for a game called Did You Dabble With It?
Yep.
I've got some subjects, topics, pastimes here. Some of them have some truth to them,
Sure.
and some of them are a complete shot in the dark. I'll say the subject, and then you say in rapid fire sequence if you did indeed dabble with it.
Yeah.
Let's get started.
Let's dabble. Yeah.
Skateboarding.
Dabbled.
Shaw Home Internet.
Home internet. Dabble.
Veganism.
Dabble.
The Nintendo Wii.
Didn't dabble.
Later Hosens.
Didn't dabble.
Beatboxing.
Dabble. Dabble. Live.
Belt Sanders.
Belt Sanders. Lightly dabbled.
Wow. New Balance sneakers.
Haven't dabbled.
44 by Joel Plaskett.
Sheesh. Heavy dabble. Dribble dabble.
Sriracha sauce.
Dabble.
Tennis.
New dabble.
Aspirational dabble. Or you're starting to dabble with it.
Yes. It's a very, very young dabble.
Straightening objects in your home to avoid existential dread.
Yes. Very consistent morning and evening and afternoon dabble. Yes.
Cold dips.
Cold dips. Very heavy into the dabble. Yes.
Shoppers Drug Mart Optimum Rewards Program.
You know, not dabble, but for how much I spend there, I'd probably be getting free bread like weekly. But no dabble. No
He's
dabble.
leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
The juice truck.
Yeah, big dabble. Years of dabbling.
Cereal.
Woo! Yeah, big dabble. I'm connoisseur, yeah.
What are name 3?
Oh, well, Cap Crunch number 1, Fruit Loops number 2, Corn Pops would be the most underrated.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
A guitar named Felix.
A guitar named Felix. A guitar named Felix? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dabble. Yeah. You know what's crazy? I know these are supposed to be rapid fire, but I have not played that guitar in so long. Anyways, go on. Yeah. Dabble.
Crossword puzzles.
Like childhood dabble.
Runaway Bride.
Runaway Bride. Julia Roberts, dabble.
This is the last one. Why
Yeah.
is this your favorite Julia Roberts movie?
Yeah, why?
Yeah. Let's hear it as little or as much as you want to tell us.
Yeah. I mean, I think that
It might not be the most popular opinion according to Rotten Tomatoes and Dan Nagan. So kind of curious if there's anything you'd like to say to the haters.
Yeah, Runaway Bride. You know what? I think that Julia Roberts, I think that she is at her most charming. I think that the plot is just dumb enough that if you buy into it early on, everything else flies. And I think that, you know, it's a good date movie. There's a lot of reasons to love Runaway Bride. And Julia Roberts should be enough.
Describing your live show.
Yeah.
In the past, you've said I'm super manic on stage, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
Describing your content, you've referred to it as being very real. I don't know why all the R's were just rolling today. You've inspired me. I mean, like I didn't even know if you did that earlier, but somebody planted the seed.
Yeah.
Too Much Love magazine. Describe your 2018 album, Joy and Violence, with the term unabashed vulnerability. And so it seems like you're pretty self-aware. I mean, like I think we've seen that today. And so in arts and entertainment, do you feel like a high level of self-awareness can help, or does it sometimes create challenges?
Yeah, I think that that's constantly the thing with creation. Is I feel like when you are not aware, you can create so much more freely, and that's where smoking weed or doing drugs or drinking alcohol is so nice, because you kind of become a little detached from results-based creation.
There you go.
And if you're doing results-based creation, you are always kind of going to fail, because the process is where you kind of find the nuggets and the good things that end up in the end creating the thing. But if you become too obsessed with what this thing is supposed to be at the end, you get precious along the way, and you actually kind of are squeezing a little too tight. I feel like you grip a little too tight.
That's it.
So yeah, I feel like the balance for me has become not, when I'm not in the state to create, not forcing myself to. And I guess that's a bit of a luxury I have, because I don't have financial commitments that require me to create on a certain schedule. There also is something to like sitting down and not waiting for inspiration, and like allowing yourself to find inspiration through process when you're not feeling it. It does happen as well. But I think I, in the beginning, was much more, or I guess I'm much less self-aware in the beginning, like I was talking about. I was just kind of creating and less worried about what people were going to think about it, because also at that point, no one was going to fucking hear it or see it, because there was no platform for it to happen. Once you start to actually have people you know are going to be consuming this, it is hard to not think about what the reception has been and what it will be. And then that's where you get a bit in your head. But I think the being a self-aware creator is super important, or else you miss trends. You can be tone deaf. You can, I mean, if you're not aware of what's going on in the world even, and you're releasing music at certain times, or you're releasing content, I mean, you're ripe to just look like a real asshole, or even like get canceled if you're just like that tone deaf. So you have to, I mean, I feel like there's this constant self-awareness battle that's going on when you're trying to create things. But the best stuff does really just happen for me when I'm like the most emotionally heightened, because I feel like in that state I'm less intellectual, and all of the skills that you've acquired in your intellectual moments and in your days when you're feeling good are there. So you have all those skills, and they're all in place, so that when the emotional experience starts to take over, it kind of just creates itself. And then that's where, for me, like if I've been really anxious and I sit down and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna, I have a little thing in my head, a little bit of a song in my head.
Right.
What I'll do is I will go to the guitar, be like, okay, I'm just gonna record this one line. I'm just gonna record this one line. And I'll sit down and I'll go, okay, here's the line. 5 years since I smoked a cigarette. Okay, great. And then I'll go to put my guitar down and be like, ah, fuck's sake. Sit down again. Be like, often I miss it, I can't forget. Ah, fuck. Okay, I'm just gonna like record this really quick, and I'll turn on my computer and be like, I'm going to fucking bed, but I'm just gonna record this really quick. And the next thing you know, it's 4.5 hours later. It's 3:30 in the morning. I've recorded an entire scratch demo. I've had to pee for 2.5 hours. I've just been holding it. The song is
Good
done.
skill,
All
right?
the lyrics are done. The harmonies are recorded. The shaker's down. Whatever. And then I still want to listen to it once before I let myself pee. So I'll bounce it out of my thing. I'll send it to myself on my phone. I'll pop in my earbuds, and I'll go and I'll walk and I'll listen to the song, and then once I've listened to it and going like, okay, yeah, that's the thing, then I'll pee, and then I'll try to go to bed. And because I have to capture that moment in that bottle, because I know when I wake up, I'm going to start intellectualizing whatever was happening there, and then immediately I'm kind of more outside of it, kind of trying to reconstruct whatever was happening. Versus when you're in the storm and you're in that moment, I feel like the kind of creation that happens there feels like it doesn't even belong to you. And that's where I feel like you hear people talk about flow state, or artists talk about songs like the lyrics were just, I was channeling it, or you hear people say shit like that. I don't believe I'm like literally channeling it. But I think that there is an amount of like your brain being kind of turned off where you're creating in this really pure state, and people respond to it. They can hear the difference in lyrics and in content that's created in that state. I feel like we are such adept bullshit detectors that when you hear something that's made that way, we immediately gravitate towards it. And so it is kind of like this special place. And then once you find that, it's really hard to try to produce or create outside of that space. But yeah, it's the eternal battle. I swing between like really depressed and anxious and bored out of my mind with stability. Like that's kind of my two fray. And so what I found is, well, if I'm going to be in the state, I might as well bring something back with me. That's where I write all my music, is in that state. So I'm like, at least I get to bring this back. And then once I'm cleaned up and my brain is working again, well, now I'm actually in a state where I can talk about it. I can go on stage and actually be a performer and be like mentally sound. So yeah, I think that in a very, very, once again, long-winded way, getting around to, I think that it has huge benefits when it comes time to communicate whatever it is you're doing with the world and try to make it palatable. And then being self-aware can lead to just full-on mental breakdowns and manic episodes and anxiety and panic attacks, which aren't great. They aren't great.
You got to break that I'll call it the creativity paradox, the like inspiration leads to action thing, but like actually if you reverse them, the action can lead to the inspiration.
Yes.
Really cool. So don't focus on creating the thing. Cultivate the environment where the thing can happen.
Sure. And also, the second, like, something that I try to do more often now is like, if you sit down with the goal of writing a song, and that goal is like, well, maybe this song could be on my next album. And then that goal is like, maybe this album will be the one that gets me wider recognition. And then maybe that wider recognition will lead to me being on a bigger tour. And maybe that will get me signed by a bigger label. And maybe that will buy a house. It like, somewhere in your brain, some of that mathematics, for me anyways, will be being done. And you will never write a cool song while you're thinking, well, if all those stages are present. So I feel like detaching from all of that stuff and being like, sometimes just create something just fucking cuz.
It's the moment that we've all been waiting for. Of course, we're flying straight towards the mountain right now. Adam, we've got two control columns for a reason.
Yes.
So mine is connected to yours. I'm here to help if you need. Are you ready to fly a little bit?
I'm ready to fly.
Put your hands on the controls.
Okay.
Cool. And now, don't look at the instruments. Just look outside. Try to hold this picture here. And so you can pull up with we'll use the terms back pressure. So just a little bit of gentle back pressure. So you're beautifully holding straight level fright right now.
Great.
I almost said straight level fright, which may describe more your scenario than mine.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm trying to stay loose. Loose, but I'm trying to be firm but loose.
Let's get your feet on the rudder pedals too.
Okay.
Do you need to pull yourself up at all? Or is it pretty comfortable there? You got long legs.
That's okay. I'm all right here.
So now we're going to do a turn. How's that sound?
Terrifying, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So what I want you to do is just rock the wings right now so that we're not actually going to turn. We're just going to feel what the ailerons feel like.
Okay, yeah, great.
All right, look to the left.
Sure.
Do you see traffic? Any planes?
I don't see any planes over there.
All right, let's turn to the left. So roll to the left, and as you do that, I want you to apply a little bit of back pressure too. That's enough back pressure right there. Just gently turn, and I want you to step on the left rudder pedal just a little bit too. Like a tiny bit.
Okay.
This is actually a pretty good turn. A little more angle of bank, so roll a little deeper into it.
Hands a little shaky, hands very sweaty.
Bomb spaghetti.
I am mom spaghetti. Sheesh.
Little back pressure.
My entire body.
Roll level.
And we are leveling. And we are level.
That's it. We are getting close to our final destination, and the seatbelt sign has been turned on for landing. Adam, will turn the spotlight over to you to take us home. Tell the world anything that you want to tell them, and of course, let them know how to find you.
That was exhilarating. I'm still just catching myself. First of all, thank you so much for having me. This was amazing. Thank you guys for having me. You can find me on Instagram and at TikTok, Noble_Sun. Follow me on Spotify, Noble Sun. I have new music coming out. You can find me doing voiceover stuff there. I'd love to come back sometime. This was seriously wonderful. Really wonderful, amazing experience, Matt. So thank you so much for having me, brother.
Thanks for joining us on the air, my friend.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. You know exactly what to do. Fasten your seatbelts and subscribe for more.